in too much, Kurt?
Nope.
Okay, more, I see, okay. His presentation tonight is Doing It Before You're Desperate. An interesting title, intriguing. The other sort of translation is Change Through Proactive Re-Engineering. Some people change because they see the light. And other people change is constantly occurring around us every day. There is no more comfort in your job. There is no more security out there. We have to change and adapt. More than ever, we need practical solutions to meeting and welcoming change. Be one of the first to take advantage of the opportunities that exist now. Anticipate trends and get a head start on the exciting times ahead. In this session, Kurt Jensen will use humor, stories, music, and practical information, drawing on his own experiences and those of other infamous and famous Toastmasters and people. Kurt's been a Toastmaster for 4 years, and he's currently president of the Northern Lights Club in Edmonton. In those 4 short years, he's served as Vice President of Education, Area Governor, District Public Relations Officer. He's presented educationals at both district and regional conventions. In between his Toastmaster activities, he's the president of his own computer software company. Is this a plug, Kurt? You're trying to get me work? Gencess Software Technologies, Inc. He set up computer software programs for golf courses throughout Canada and has traveled extensively in the States, Japan, and Europe, touting his software and golfing. He boasts a 6th handicap. Is that good?
Good one, John.
Please welcome Kurt Jensen.
We've all had the prerequisite here. We've all changed, and this wasn't part of the session. It's going from A to B, and I'm glad to see that you all made it. Change. Change in our world. Change takes commitment. Change takes energy. Change takes dedication. We're not to be surprised by change. The universe is constantly expanding, getting larger. The earth is constantly changing. Our societies are constantly changing. Our communities are constantly changing. And we are constantly changing. We're not to be surprised by that. Change on this planet is the only thing that we can be guaranteed of, perhaps besides death. Let's remove the word perhaps. If the sun goes down, it gets
dark.
Good. Let's hear it again. It gets
Dark.
When the sun comes up, it gets
Light.
Now, if we're standing beside somebody, perhaps from the pursuers, and they say, "What's happened? What's happened?" They're kind of confused, and I guess maybe they haven't been here long. On their planet, perhaps there isn't change, but on our planet, there will always be change. We have to be ready for change. Change is a natural phenomenon. What I do when I'm thinking about something, trying to understand something, is I'll go to nature and I'll make a connection. Let's look at the planet Earth. When the Earth wants to go through change, it builds up a great deal of stress in the plates. And after that stress gets built up to a certain point, it releases. And the Earth twists and turns and violently moves, feet and perhaps yards. When it's all settled out, to change just a few inches, it went through all that. So to think we're all created in God's eye, what makes us think that we can be any different? Change is always something that's happening, and it takes energy. Physically, you sitting there are breaking the speed limit. You're all changing at 50 million cells a second. You're changing at 50 million cells a second. And what does that mean? Every 15 to 18 months, we are going to be an entirely new person, physically, except for some nerves and fiber tissues. You're going to be a whole new person. So if we're changing at 50 million cells a second, shouldn't we be changing towards our future best? Who we want to become? So somehow we have to have that image what we want to change towards. Physically, that's okay, but mentally, we know the anguish for change. How many here have gone through a sudden career change, a divorce, perhaps a death in the family? How many? Let's see a raise of hands. How many have done that? So we all know the anguish that with the mental stresses that build up inside us. We have to be careful at 50 million cells a second as we're going through that mental anguish. What are we thinking? How many know college football, U.S. college football? 1, 2, good. I did this down in the States and only one person put up their hands. I couldn't believe it. But there was one of the most winning football coaches in college history, Paul the Bear Bryant, was going to retire. He was one of the most winning coaches, one of the greatest coaches. And he was at his press conference the day before his last game. And one of the reporters looked up at him and said, "Bear, after coaching football to young men for 20 years and making a difference in their lives, what are you going to do? What are you going to do after 20 years?" And he said, "Pause, I'll probably die. 50 million cells a second, you put into action, I'll probably die." In 3 weeks, after putting that into action, the bear died. One of the greatest men. We have to be careful what we're saying to ourselves. Studies have shown that when a person moves, loses an object, serious love, that he will that after you retire, you will, on the average, live 17 paychecks. 17 paychecks. Isn't that exciting? That's all. Do we all want to retire? Let's get ready. Let's get ready for retirement. Let's take a proactive stance. Companies are helping now. They're taking a step forward. They're saying, we'll take our employees that we're going to have to lay off or let go and put them through a course on what they're going to expect, the doubt, the self-worth that they're going to feel, the loss. And it's helped. A lot of people now don't see it as an ending, but seeing it as a beginning. So that's what we want to see. When we change, we want to see new beginning. In 1986, I was a young man, a young good-looking man.
Change.
And what I had developed was a software package for an engineering firm. I had put my heart and my soul into that system. And they used it there in the Edmonton office for about a year. And after all the success that we had at that regional office, corporate office from Houston, Texas phoned us and said, "Kirk, we've heard how well your package is doing. We'd like to incorporate it in our other regions. Can you come down to Houston, Texas?" Man, I've got so many things going here for myself right now. I'm not sure if I want to go to be a direct hire at corporate office, because right at that point I was working as a consultant. They said, "Kirk, we'll offer you the company car. Kirk, we'll offer you the credit card. Kirk, we'll offer you the corporate apartment. Kirk, we'll offer you the per diem. Kirk, we'll offer you the guaranteed salary." Wow, Mom liked that. This sounds like an opportunity. So with a little bit of humming and hawing, I decided to go ahead. And it was great. I went down there, and my mind just exploded, expanded with the things that I was introduced to and how big the country was and how big our world was. But there I am with my car in my apartment and feeling real good. Man, corner office exec. But I'm not finished now. No, that's right, I wouldn't be here. That was too good. Everything was too perfect. 8 months into the job, a Japanese company bought the American company. And I was told, as a Canadian working for a Japanese company in America, in Texas, in Houston, where the jobs were nowhere to be seen, I didn't have a big chance of sticking around. Yeah. 4 days later, I was let go. Dropped. From being on top of the world, being right at the bottom. And we've all taken this drive, that last drive from the office. The feelings that we have again, self-doubt. What did I do wrong? Why me? I can remember looking through my tears, sitting in that Houston traffic for about an hour, moaning, feeling pity for myself. And the second hour in Houston traffic, I pounded the steering wheel. I said, that's enough. This isn't my loss. This is their loss. They don't know what they just let go. Kirk, they always told you in university, they always told you you should be in your own business. You've got it. And I thought about the corporate politics, the backstabbing, how I hated people crawling all over each other to get to the top. And I started flipping it around and seeing it more as an opportunity now. Seeing it as a positive. And I thank that company for taking me down to the States. But what I thank that company more for is the kick in the pants and the shot in the arm to get started on my own business. That is where I said, let's flip it around, and that made a dramatic change in my life. Is an impact experience like that. Let's look at it as a positive. There's two ways we can go when we take it. Change is big. We have lots of stresses. An example of this can be seen in a study. In the wild kingdom, we have 9 illnesses. In household pets, anybody have any ideas how many? 5,000, 1,000, 2,000, as close, 2,600. 2,600 illnesses for man. Why is this? We're intelligent. Are we looking at this wrong? Are we victims of our intelligence? Are we victims of our consciousness? Are we victims of our awareness? We shouldn't be. Balls! We should be looking for it and seeing it as a positive. Next time I come and do this session, I want to see these numbers flipped around. I want some results here. Change in our society. Farming. We can remember hearing how farmers never used to have to go to the hospital. They were never sick. How many farmers do I have here? You ever been to the hospital? Yeah? Nope? Oh, very good.
He's happy to be tired.
How many paychecks have you been into? That a boy, all right. Okay. It used to be that in farming, the only hardships they really had were physical. They weren't mental. Their hardships mentally were, what was the weather going to do? And they didn't have much control over that. But you look at today's farmers. They're dealing now on a global market. Where it used to be where farmers would just have to worry about the community, selling milk to within about a 60-mile radius. Now they're competing against beef in Australia, cheeses in Europe, ice creams from Germany. They've got a lot of stresses. The futures, interest rates, the Chicago Board of Trade. Farmers have agriculture, even them, have not become immune to change. In business, technology is moving at such a rapid pace. In my business, software computers, it changes every 18 months. Every 6 months, excuse me. Every 6 months, the technology is doubled and changed. And if I haven't done something to keep up with technology, then our company will be out of business in 18 months, in 2 revolutions. So we've got to be changing. We've got to keep moving. And I'm sure it's like that in a lot of the businesses that you have. We must keep moving if we're going to survive in this day and age. A quote from Omni Magazine, which is a scientific magazine, said, if the airline industry would have moved as quickly as the computer industry, the technology industry, we'd be able to put a 747 in our back pocket in the last 5 years. We'd be able to fly to the moon and back in 30 minutes. Are we going through more change now than before? Yep. So everybody, let's be ready. There's a lot of stresses put on us about it. Computers now link everywhere, all over the world. They have what's called, how many have heard of the information highway? Very good. Information highway. All that is a group of servers all over the world, hooking Medicine Hat up to Calgary, Calgary to Butte, Montana to Spokane, California, Los Angeles, all the way down to Hawaii. So it's just a web of servers. We're actually just local calls. And we'll be able to access information all around the globe 24 hours a day. Practically, how can we use this? Let me explain an example. In Halifax, Nova Scotia, Roswell Books, they sell technical books. And what they did is they put it on what was called Cyber Mall. And again, that's a server that sells time all across the world to other servers to be in the information highway. He had all his titles listed on this information highway. Within 4 to 6 months, he was getting 4,000 to 5,000 calls a day on these books. He was starting to compete against bookstores that were right next to a university, so he could quote them. Did he have to increase his size? Nope. Did he have to increase his staff? Yeah, only to count the money. The information highway is something that we can take advantage of and look forward to. Don't be scared of the information highway. Don't be scared of technology. It's in our dashboards, it's in our microwave ovens. It can be there and it can help us. And we don't need to be a small company, spend like $100,000 on equipment. What we can do is spend about $5,000 on a PC, get a laser printer, and some software. Dan says buy a Macintosh. Sure, you can get those down at Toys R Us. And what you can look like with just that much equipment is the same type of proposal that AT&T can put out, or Xerox, any big company. You can look as good in a presentation as they can for $5,000. Now on a CD-ROM, you can get encyclopedias, you can get famous speeches, you can get bird songs, all on a single disc. Access is right there. We don't, again, need a lot of times a large staff. 90% of all jobs are going to come from small businesses in the future. As well, 90% of businesses in America have sales under $1 million. Well, we're going to be in the top 10%, this group here. We're going to be over $1 million, and I want to see it. What are some companies that are proactive, that move ahead? IBM. Good, right? Jen says software technology.
Who did IBM remember?
Actually, IBM is a good example. They were a little slow. They actually reacted to the market. What happened was Compaq got the jump, and a few other companies got into the computer market, and IBM now had to react. Just like Chrysler and Ford, when the cars went from being this big to this big, they didn't move ahead. What they did is they had to react after losing market share to when Toyota and Nissan were bringing all those other cars over. So they were reacting. They weren't being proactive. I would say McDonald's is proactive. They keep changing with the times. Subway, how many know the Subways? Subway. Health food is getting to be a real thing now because there's so many people that are so busy. So Subway submarines is a health food. And now they're the second franchise behind McDonald's in size in just a few short years. They are proactive. All right, Kirk, you've told us there's change. We believe you. Now what are we going to do about it? Be proactive, not reactive. Again, proactive, it's a word you're not going to find in too many dictionaries. You're going to hear a lot about it in management, in seminars, but you're not going to find it in many dictionaries. Proactive people take the initiative to go out and do something. Proactive people take the responsibility to do what they have to do. Responsibility. That is big in the 90s. Let's look at that word. Responsibility. The ability to respond. Responsibility. Proactive people are taking the initiative. They're moving ahead. Reactive people are usually affected by their environment. When it's down, when it's raining, they're down. When it's cloudy, they'll feel cloudy. Proactive people see the sun all the time. They take the sun with them. When it's raining, doesn't matter. We've got the sun around us. They create their own environment, circumstance, and conditions wherever they go. The next one is confidence. Confidence. What that is, a lot of it, if I can explain it my way, is being able to step out of your comfort zone. Being comfortable with who you are. Know that when you go out somewhere and put yourself on the line, that your self-worth is never on the line. Nobody can ever take away your self-worth. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Somebody asked me a question.
How old are you?
How old am I? Who asked that question? Larry. I'm 34, and I'm excited. Somebody else asked me a question.
Are you single?
A lot of questions from the back here.
You missed the question, the other question. Are you really kinky?
I'm not touching that one. That wasn't my doing. How many golf games did I do last year? Boy, these are really intelligent questions.
How much money did you make?
It's interesting.
What are you doing that for?
Stepping out of your comfort zone. When I first asked anybody to give me a question, there was a pause. Nobody wanted to take the chance. But what if it's a stupid question? See, it didn't bother Larry. But as soon as the money came out, the rewards, the questions were just firing. That's right, you didn't see that, Laura. You've been asking questions all the time. But as soon as you step out of your comfort zones, you will receive the rewards. There are lots of rewards there. You just have to move a little bit out of your comfort zone and stretch. Another one is listening to that voice within. How many of us have an idea and then get talked out of it? A little voice in you, somebody else to tell you. How many times does that happen to us? Happens to me all the time. Until I did some research for this session. Let me give you an example of an individual who listened to that voice. This gentleman was walking down the street. And all of a sudden, a cold, clear voice said, "Sell your house, sell your car, sell your stocks, take all the money out of the bank, put it in a bag, information to follow." The voice came cold and clear again. Take all your money, put it in a bag, more information to follow. It came so cold, I have to listen to this. I have to listen to my voice. I don't understand it, but I'll listen to it. So the next day, he's got all his money in a bag. He's walking, and the voice comes again. Las Vegas. The voice comes cold and clear again, Las Vegas. He says, well, I've never been to Las Vegas. I got nothing to lose. It might be a nice city to visit. He's got all his money. He's on the plane. He's getting off the plane. All his money down the steps. And the voice comes again. Caesar's blackjack. He's now sitting with all his money, thinking, where am I going? Well, sure, let's go play a few hands of blackjack. Grabs the bags. He's now at Caesar's blackjack table. He's watching everybody. The voice comes to him again. And I'm talking cold and clear. This is the best way to explain it. It came cold and clear. And it said, bet it all. He's going through a little bit of voice recognition here. And the voice says, bet it all. He takes all his money, shaking, and drops it on the table. He now waits for the voice again. Waits, and nothing's happening. The pit boss comes over and looks at all the money on the table and says, what's going on here? He explains it and says, okay, this one time. The dealer deals. The dealer's showing a whole card and a 9. He's showing 4 and a 3. He's not doing too good right here. The voice comes and it says, hit. He says to the dealer, thinks that's hit, 10. He's laying 17. I'm thinking, oh my God, 17. He says, most people stick at 17. Dealer's got a whole card of 9. Most people stick at 17. The voice comes again, cold and clear. Hit. 17. It's all in front of him. It's out of one. Hits. A 3! He's laying 20. The dealer's got a whole card and a 9. He's thinking, we're in great shape. Yes, the voice comes again. He's thinking, wait, he'll say stick. The voice says, it. Best I understand it is he sat there with his teeth clenched, shaking, and he said, hit. Ace! He's got 21. The place goes, all the people are going wild for him. And the voice comes again. Unbelievable! So listen to that little voice there. Sometimes I like to play jokes on it too. The next one is personal development. This is a good place to start because nothing happens for you until it happens to you. Success is attractive, and therefore we must be attractive. Income usually does not far exceed personal development. It might take a lucky jump. You might win $1 million. But unless you move out to where it is, it'll come back to where you are. Sure, the scheme is there, but the schemer always remains. It's been said that if you took all the money in the world and you split it up evenly, put it in everybody's pocket, it would eventually all be back in the same pockets, proportionally. If you're going to become a millionaire, it's best you start thinking like a millionaire. Don't take a poor man to lunch, or a poor person to lunch. Take a rich man to lunch. How does he act? How does he talk? How does he shake hands? That was something that made a big difference for me. So now I like taking successful businessmen to lunch. I like to see how they move. Successful businessmen and Dan Hardy. It's funny that for personal development, if we think of it as being a pianist or a golfer, what we see is that we understand that you just can't sit on the piano bench and start playing the piano, Ich kann Say Snap by Beethoven. We know you can't do that. We know that you can't all of a sudden take the club out of the bag, hit the links with your tee time, and shoot 72. I can. First hole. Division governors are omnipotent.
I stand the first hole.
We realize that in pianist. We have to take lessons for 6 to 8 years to be a pianist. We go to see a coach, a mentor. They help us. They give us another lesson. We practice that for a week. A week later, we come back. We get evaluated. We get another lesson. We go back. For 6 to 8 years, and we become a pianist. We don't all of a sudden become recital pianists. We can understand that part of it. But when it comes to character development or emotional development, we think that we can fake it. Oh yeah, I can get away with that. I can do that. Can you imagine if for 6 to 8 years we worked on our personal and character development, each week going to a coach and a mentor, and then coming back? Just think of the leaders we would have, the communicators. And that's what we in this organization are doing that. We're here for personal development. We're being proactive. We're getting ready for that one time we have to make that $250,000 proposal or presentation. We get our books, our lessons. We got 10 speeches. Each week we go and we give a manual speech. We get evaluated. And then we start working on another one. We keep moving. We are being proactive with our character and emotional development here in our organization. But how do you start personal development, Kurt? Sure, we're in Toastmasters, but tell us some other things. You don't have to, they're not big shifts. You don't have to go to Harvard Business School. Simple things. Working on your handshake. As simple as that is. If you want to become an above average person, develop an above average handshake. When you shake hands with somebody, don't be too flippant about it. Practice your handshake every time you see somebody. Practice that handshake like you're about to talk to this guy about a $250,000 deal. About a $10,000 deal. Something that's important to you. Your future father-in-law, future mother-in-law. Make sure when you're shaking hands,
Sunday morning, Medicine Hat, 1994. And there's Kathy, the Wild Rose president. By acclamation, she would have never got in otherwise. Only by acclamation would she make it in. Rick Laker, you know how well that went in my filming in the session?
Take the competition.
Welcome to
That was Debbie Swanson, the division governor. Business Scriptnip, chief guide.
I'm Mike B. I'm the chairman of Gatsby Square Toastmasters Club here in Medicine Hat. Hey, we meant to meet last night. I have to go here.
Sounds like it's
The
bad.
reason I'm started arms game this morning is nobody else can do the job, so I'm here.
Alright.
Hey, how you doing, Kirk? Sorry, I didn't see you there. You're kind of easy to forget.
How's it going? That's an issue.
Salmon's Breakfast Buffet. Why did we call it the Salmon's Breakfast Buffet? Give you a little history lesson before we get into breakfast. Samus is
in this district, the opportunities we have. I toast the success of this convention, the warmth, the hospitality, the success of this convention, and the opportunity that we've had to showcase our talents here. I think of the district governor's theme that we're here to grow, to change, and to become, and the challenge that leaves us for the rest of this year. We're a district that knows how to showcase its talent and knows how to showcase its success. I think it's appropriate that the governor has chosen such a theme that offers us the opportunity and the challenge to take what we have, to grow from it, to change for the better, as the president says, to make the change for the better in her theme, and that we can have the chance to become even better than we thought we could, to use the hidden potential and to expand on that. We're a district that thrives upon success. We expect the best. We expect that we keep the standard of excellence and the integrity of the organization at heart. Let us toast as we think of the governor's theme, and as we go back from this convention to our clubs, let us grow, change, and become. Please join me. Grow, change, and become.
Thank you, Rick.
We're nailing down our education leadership recipient. We've got one offer out there, but situations aren't at a point where that offer can yet be accepted, and we're at the point we're going to have to move on and make another offer because we can't wait much longer.
Kathy always pretends to be so attentive. No, President Wild Rosemary. I know she sounds about me. You gotta do that. I know one day she'll hate me for saying that.
We would spend some of the money that we would use.
You're gonna go like this?
See now we're
I'm gonna go like this?
Stop mumbling under your breath.
Pardon me?
I'm gonna go like this?
Mumbling
Hello.
under his breath.
Am I in the picture? Hello.
Well, that was a good one.
Oh yeah, it looks different on here, doesn't it? Oh brother. What was that you were showing us? Here, you gotta get a group shot here, okay?
What do you want me to do? Exactly.
Just point to it. Point. Okay guys, get all together here. Okay, what you gotta do, we're gonna start with you. What you gotta do is you got her here?
Well, yeah, I've got her.
Okay, what's your name? Come to the middle here. And what's your name?
You're getting a little...
Maria, what's your last name? Okay, now you're done. Okay, Joe, you come to the middle. What's your name? Joanne. Would you like to say anything to the camera, Joe? Joe Andrews. Are you a speed skater, Joe? No. You're not a speed skater?
Look at them all. They're all so cute.
Okay. All right, Joe. Okay, you want to come to the middle? And what's your name? Ann.
Emily, right?
What's your favorite color, Em? Purple.
2 minutes, please.
Purples, huh?
Would you all please reconvene in the central room
We'll let you
in 2 minutes?
All right, Chief. What's your name? John.
John Andrews.
What's your favorite sport, John? What do you like playing? Baseball.
Ooh.
You like playing baseball? What position do you like? You like catcher, pitcher, batter, pitcher. He's a big pitcher and a big batter.
Big pitcher.
He's playing the big leagues. Atta boy. Okay, next. You're a big tall guy. You have to raise the camera now.
I sure had to.
Can't hear you, Nathan.
Nathan Andrews.
Nathan Andrews, what's your favorite hockey team?
The Oilers.
What's your favorite sport? Hockey. The Oilers got to be your favorite team, aren't they? Who's your favorite player?
Gretzky.
Okay, good. All right, Nick, you come in here. Charlotte Hornets. What's your name? Nicholas. What's your favorite sport? Basketball. Who's number one man?
Michael Jordan.
You. That's good. All right.
Okay.
You gotta get Dad in here. You gotta get Dad too? Okay, Dad's gonna come.
I'm afraid to speak in public.
Yeah, Dad's table topic. All right, what's your name, son?
This is really easy to operate.
Larry.
Larry. What's your last name?
DTL.
DTL. And what's your favorite color, Larry?
Red.
Red. This man owns a business in Alberta. All right, get one last shot. My name's Kurt, and
We never would have guessed that one. Look at all these
yeah, all right.
people.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Good seeing you all again. Huh? I'll see you again sometime.
It's going to come down this way. Maybe in February when you do this presentation.
Yeah.
You do
Do I get people out in the foyer? Please come back into the meeting
Can I
room.
come to your house?
Bring that dinner bell or something, get everybody back in here.
Okay, if I come to your house? Are you sure? Then we can go play and do things, huh? Right on. Okay.
All right. Nice meeting all of you.
Okay.
You're a gorgeous family.
Thanks a lot. Oh, just a minute. Gotta wave again. Everyone wave again. Hey guys.
Flo, we follow you.
Anytime you're ready. Yep.
Flo, you go first.
We got any music to go to?
You want me to announce your floor or something like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Huh? You can play it back with sound.
Kirk, Dan, this means you.
I'm taping.
Fern? Okay. Please be seated. Please.
Spring is coming a little bit earlier in Saskatoon in 1995. Flowers will be blooming in the beautiful Saskatoon Inn. Why don't you come and bloom in Saskatoon, April 28th, 29th, and 30th, 1995. That's spring convention time for District 42 Toastmasters. Spring 95 is very special in District 42. Why? Toastmasters International President Pauline Shirley will be coming to our convention. You will have the opportunity to see her, talk to her, get to know our international president, and she's a great lady. She will be our keynote speaker as well as providing us with an exciting educational session. There will be a bouquet of other educational sessions, something for everyone. Many of them presented by our own Toastmasters. There are still some openings. Why not be a presenter this year? Take a risk. The Covenant Golden Lectern will appear again. Come prepared to take it home with you. I hear there may be a lip-sync competition for it. Division B have a winner already. The Creme de la Creme speech contest, the International Speech Contest. Will you be the one who represents us in beautiful San Diego? Start preparing now. You just may. Another tip, the hospitality suite. I hear Jack Watson will be looking after it in Saskatoon. Yes, you do know what that means, don't you? There's a rumor that 5 of the 1993 division governors will be in rooms with hot tubs. Great, huge hot tubs. What an opportunity to party in 5 different rooms. Why not sign up today? For fun, learning, fellowship, and more fun. And by the way, we have about 20 registrations in already. And I had one before I even got my seat warm at the table. So let's get them in, and we have our table over here. Why not come bloom in Saskatoon on April 28th, 29th, and 30th in Saskatoon.
Okay, folks, this is what we were good at. This is what took us 1 whole year to learn for some of us. Okay, do you want to see us do it again? This is how we started. We'd like to thank absolutely every one of you for coming, from absolutely everyone on the committee. That's okay, you can play, it goes forever. From everyone on the committee. We'll go out this way. We'll start with registration person. Jackie's going to lead out in the dance floor. Go for it.